Hi everybody, it's Kayla, and welcome back to a very exciting speed build in The Sims 4. Today, I'm recreating one of the most iconic houses from The Sims 3, but in The Sims 4. And by that I mean I went tile by tile and rebuilt the exact house from The Sims 3 in The Sims 4. So you'll see a lot of me looking at screenshots in this video and comparing and doing all of this stupid detailed work to try and create the exact structure of the Wolff Manor from The Sims 3 base game in The Sims 4. So for some context for this, if you guys didn't play The Sims 3, maybe you did play The Sims 3 and are like a big fan of this house, because if you're like me, this house is your childhood, because this house is from Sunset Valley in The Sims 3, which is, if you guys didn't play this game, basically like the Willow Creek of The Sims 3. It's the base game world. I was gonna say it's nice. It's a strong word. It's a nice world. It's full of houses like this one that are a bit interesting. We all make fun of EA's builds still to this day, but the Sims 3 ones are like a new level. Like, I honestly think that some of these things, they had to try to make them this bad. Like, this build, it takes effort to make it this weird. Like, some of the things they've done, like, I don't really understand why these choices were made, but, you know, they were, and we tried to copy them. So there's a fountain in the front, there's like a little carport, they've got a small, tiny first floor with a gym in it, and then a big, giant second floor that's actually the first floor, with a tiny little front door and a big old wraparound porch. They have a pool. They have some very weirdly placed support columns. The windows are odd. It's definitely an interesting build. I must remind you guys, though, quickly that there are a lot of differences fundamentally with the build mode of The Sims 3 and The Sims 4, so there are some things that are going to have to be different. Obviously, number one, we had create a style in The Sims 3, so you can make any item, any color or pattern that you wanted. We don't have that in The Sims 4. We don't even have a color wheel. We just have the swatches they give us. So we're kind of limited in that sense. Also, there were more abilities with foundations in The Sims 3, and Terrain Tool was a little bit more customizable than in The Sims 4. For example, you could have foundations of a different height touching each other, which we can't do in this game. There's a lot more cheats with like constrained floor elevation and stuff like that, and so there are some things that they've done, like put a foundation in places that I couldn't do it, so I had to do some like mimicky things, like put half walls down to try and pretend it's a foundation even though it's not. So you'll see some like weird stuff like that. Also, obviously, because of like the color and pattern issue, I had to decide in building this house, like when I'm putting down furniture, okay, do I care more about the color of it or the function of it? So for example, when I'm doing the windows and the doors, in The Sims 3, they have sliding glass doors that are full size that match the windows, which we don't have in this game. So the build had sliding glass doors, but they looked like those base game full-size glass doors, the double door opening ones that we have. And so I was trying to decide, do I care more about the full glass look or the fact that it's a sliding glass door? And I ended up going with the sliding glass door when I usually would pick the look, because I thought it was funny that it didn't fit properly, and I was like, listen, we're making an EA build. They would have picked the sliding glass door that doesn't fit properly. There are also some weird things with windows, because in The Sims 3, they had a 3-tile wide full glass window. We don't have that. We only have 2 and 1 tile wide glass windows, and so I used the 2-tile wide ones, but there is like some weird spots where I had to put like 2 and 1 to fit it. Most of the places, though, they have like numbers that match up evenly, so like they had like a total of 6 tiles of windows, so they only have 2 3-tile windows, but I have 3 2-tile windows. I know, math, kind of wild, right? But you'll see just some weird differences there. Obviously, you're looking at screenshots kind of like intermittently on the screen, and I'm going to put before and afters of this at the end of the video if you want to watch screenshots to like see what it compares to. It's kind of fun doing this. I've done a few of these builds in the past, because I did the land grab house, I did, I think, the Alto house, the Goth house. I've done a bunch of like the classic iconic families homes. I did a few like regular ones, like there's a really weird set of townhouses in this game. I rebuilt them, so that was quite an experience. I did this on stream though, and so a lot of people watched me do this and watched me suffer. It was quite an experience that we dealt with together. Because we're all sitting there like, oh my god. Usually there's like a couple rooms that I have issues with the spacing of, because another thing, stairs are different widths in this game. So in The Sims 4, we have 3 wall heights. We have short, medium, and tall, and the stairs in The Sims 3 were one tile wider than in The Sims 4, which is infuriating because it makes things not spaced properly when you're doing the builds. Because when you have a short wall height that matches The Sims 3, and you try and put down your stairs, and they have things like in this build, the stairs, the placement of them matters because it determines what the build looks like, and they're smaller in The Sims 4 than The Sims 3, so it messes everything up. But if you make the walls medium wall height, they fit properly. So like the walls are a little bit abnormally tall, but the stairs fit nicely, which I think makes a big difference because the fact that the stairs are still like an important piece of the build, like that staircase on the first floor that leads you up to the entry, if that didn't fit properly, it just wouldn't make any sense. So I had to make the walls medium wall height. And this room in the office that I'm doing right now on the side, like the left side of the build, I had a hard time getting that to shape properly. I was like getting the spacing wrong because it kept taking me to the edge of the lot and hitting the edge, and I was like, what's wrong with it? Oh my god, but I ended up fixing it, so it's fine. It took some fiddling, but we got there. It's easier to like guess out the spacing of like big rectangular rooms than obviously like these weird diagonal walls they've done, so it took me a while to get there, but we did in the end. It was fine. And then when I started furnishing, my whole chat was like miserable because listen, the house is it's weird, but it's at least a little bit interesting, right? But the furnishing of it is so bad. Like the choices that were made are so weird that it's like sad because you start putting things down and you're like, wait, whoa. You want me to put a zebra chair? Are you serious? And so here I am placing my zebra chairs and zebra rugs, you know, like it's just really, it's deeply upsetting, but I'm okay. I got through it. It's fine. But anyway, this house belonged to the Wolff family in The Sims 3, which, like I said, if you played this game, you probably recognize them or recognize the house because this was like one of the nicer homes in the game. It came on this like cool cliff lot, kind of like the lot that I built it on here in Brindleton Bay, 40 by 40 like cliff lot sort of thing in Sunset Valley, and it was like a really fancy, modern, like rich person house, you know, like the kind of thing you'd move the Wolff family out and put your Sims in because you wanted to feel powerful and rich. Like that was a very common theme for me when I played this game back in the olden days. And so building it was really fun to like reminisce a little bit, and also these things seem so much worse looking back on them now than they did then when I played with them. Like this build, playing with it now, I'm like, oh, it was bad. But when I played in it then, I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world, oh my god. But I didn't know any better. This place is really weird and terrible. Everything about it is just so strange. I don't know. This happens with a lot of EA builds. But, like, I don't get it, honestly. Like, the front of this place, it's so weird. Like, looking at it and, like, seeing where they put windows and stuff. When I was looking at screenshots, I was like, wait, you want me to put this here? You want it here? Really? Why? Like there's in the master bedroom, no spoilers, but in the master bedroom, they have like a his and hers dresser on either side of the room, right? And there's a mirror above it. And they put the mirror like off to the side with like a plant next to it. So picture it's a 2-tile dresser. The mirror is above the right tile, except the mirror is a little bit bigger than one tile. So the mirror like overhangs off the dresser a little bit, but like on the wrong side. And it's so weird. It's like off-centered and doesn't make any sense. It reminds me one time I stayed in a hotel room in London, and it was really small, obviously, but they had like a dresser across from the bed, and they had a big circle mirror, and the circle mirror was like half above the dresser and just half on the wall. Like it wasn't above anything, it was just like there. Like I like, why'd you put it off center? I don't understand, but they did that with this build too. So like, it wasn't like a stylistic choice, I don't think either, because it didn't fit properly. Like, it just looks off. And so I made sure I mimicked that with my Sims 4 mirrors. I got one that was too big for the space and put it right there, just to make us suffer, because that's my goal. But anyway, the Wolff family that lives here, I'm going to explain them a little bit. I'm actually going to make them tonight on stream. My plan is to recreate the Sims in The Sims 4, because we were like deep diving a little bit and trying to like read their backstories and like joke around about it, because basically the storyline for these two Sims, it's like this adult man and his slightly younger wife, both obviously very successful, rich people. She's a doctor, he's a business guy? I don't remember. Wait, let me look. I don't want to get it wrong. Let me just double check really fast. But yeah, his name, yeah, he's a CEO of a mega corporation. He's very famous, very rich. But his name is Thornton. Her name is Morgana, the Wolves, like I said. But they're both very opposite, as in she wants to have kids and a family. He's evil and hates children and does not want that at all. And yet somehow they're married, which is really stupid. Like, just folks, as a person who is 19 years old and unmarried, I do have some marriage advice for you all. Talk about kids before you get married. Like, don't be marrying someone that doesn't have the same viewpoints on, like, starting a family as you, because you're just not going to be happy. If, like, you think they're going to change their mind, they're not going to change their mind. If you want kids and they don't, it's not going to work. Like, someone's going to sacrifice something, or worse, it doesn't work out at all, and you don't want that. So don't be like Morgana and Thornton, don't get married. Okay, anyway, they're married, and she really wants kids, he doesn't. He, like I said, has some interesting traits. He's a nice-ish guy. He is a perfectionist, commitment issues, dislikes children, frugal, and ambitious. So, you know, not the worst, but like, anyway, she's a workaholic, good, family-oriented, charismatic, and artistic sim. So, like I said, she wants the kids, he doesn't. They have this one-bedroom house, by the way. It's enormous and one bedroom. They also have these, like, just 2 chairs and this really long dining room table that are opposite each other. Anyway, but when I was looking at their family trees and, like, their relationships and stuff, Morgana has this woman that she works with, this boss of hers, I'm guessing, because she's a little bit higher in the career. But she has this boss, Jolena, okay? And Thornton is very good friends with Jolena, but Morgana hates Jolena. Now, what does this lead you to believe? I don't want to make any assumptions, but I'm just guessing. Here's my theory, right? Originally, when I thought she was younger than her and, like, worse in the career, I was like, oh my god, he's sleeping with the intern. But I don't think he's sleeping with an intern. I do think, however, that he's having an affair with Jolena. And here's my reasoning, right? I think, deep down, that Thornton kind of sucks as a person, right? Like, this isn't surprising. And in my head, he's had this, like, thing with Jolena forever, but she's a little bit older, she's his age, and he doesn't want to get with her, right? Like, they both are very similar, they're very career-oriented, they have big aspirations, they pretty well off, you know, but he keeps, like, dating these younger, pretty women, and he ended up marrying Morgana, who's a little bit younger, who has, like, nothing in common with him. Like, you wouldn't think they'd be a good match, but he's just a snake who keeps, like, dating these younger, hot women, and, like, leaving Jolena in the dust, but, like, still kind of leading her on, and now he and Jolena kind of have, like, this thing still, except he's married to Morgana, and here's Jolena, like, out here, like, I don't know, I mean, he's married now, so what am I gonna do? But, like, that's what happened. And now, obviously, Morgana, like, has a hunch about this, because they're still friends, but, like, I don't think he's doing anything wrong, okay? I don't think anything happened, recently at least, but I don't trust him. So I'm gonna make these Sims in the Sims 4 and play with them, because I just like the idea of it. It's been so long. I love the Sims 3 so much. Like, I've said it so many times on my channel, but, like, this was my first Sims game, and I played the base game for so long, because I couldn't afford any packs, and so I only had the base game for years in the Sims 3. And so, like, I'm very familiar with Sunset Valley and the Sims in it, and it brings me a lot of joy. I reminisce so much playing with this game because it's just so fun, and I think that rebuilding these houses is a really fun challenge because, like, obviously the games are 2 very different build modes, and so trying to, like, recreate things done in one in the next edition and, like, bringing these, like, old houses to the new Sims game is so fun to me. And also, now that we have more objects and as the game expands and we get more power, like with terrain tools and stuff, I can do so many more things from The Sims 3 in The Sims 4. So expect more videos like this because I have done a few. I didn't do any videos on them on my YouTube channel, but I did them on stream. So if you want to watch me do stuff like this on Twitch, I stream every single day, twitch.tv/lilsimsie. Give me a follow. I'm trying to hit 100k. I have like 20k to go, but give me a follow. Anyway, I love this a lot. It's just so fun to me to, like, go back into the old Sims games and mess around. I'm doing a Let's Play on my channel right now, playing with Generations, and I'm going to do a University LP soon as my Sim grows up. I have this Sim, Gertrude. Quite a gal, but as soon as she turns into young adult, I'm going to do a University LP. I think in, like, a few weeks I'll start that. Maybe, like, early September is where I'm going for with that one. But I don't know, you guys. We've got some plans in the works. I love The Sims 3. I really do. And my computer now can run it finally. Like, I always had these, like, terrible laptops and things that just could not run The Sims 3. My PC now, she's not to flex or anything, but, like, she's kind of powerful, so she can run The Sims 3. When I was taking screenshots of this, I had The Sims 3 open and The Sims 4 at the same time, and they were running fine. Like, I mean, I was just taking screenshots, but, like, not to flex, but I can run both The Sims 3 and The Sims 4 at once. You wish you could do that, okay? You wish you could double sim. I don't think anyone has any desire to do that, to be honest, but that's what I was doing. There were some things, though, in this build, I forgot to mention, that, like, I had floor plan screenshots from the top, but, like, slightly angled wrong so that I couldn't see, like, where the toilet was placed in that bathroom, so I just guessed where the toilet was, and then I had to go back into game to check, and I had, like, rotated it the wrong way. I was like, is it on the right wall or the front wall? I don't know. I know it's in that corner, but which wall is it on? And I had to go back into the game to check. And, oh my god, one more thing about these Sims 3 builds. When they have toilet paper in them, because the move objects limitations of this game, they obviously don't use any build cheats when they're making base game houses and stuff. And so when placing toilet paper, it's an entire tile distance away from the toilet. So, like, I'm imagining your Sims, if they're sitting there, like, their arm's not even going to reach if it's fully extended. Like, it's that far away from the toilet. It's so weird. And so when I was putting the things down, I was like, well, this is where it belongs. I can't change it, okay? Like, this is their rules, not mine. I don't make these rules. You're the ones who placed it here, okay? But they have some really weird things, like this kind of, like, stripy fun carpet. And they had some strong choices in their decorations and stuff. This office is kind of weird because it has 3 desks, but there's only 2 Sims that live here. So it makes me wonder, like, who has the 3rd desk. But the 3rd desk only has a phone on it. In The Sims 3, it has one, like, home phone on it. We live in 2019. We don't have home phones in The Sims 4. How many of you guys still have a landline? That's actually an interesting question because I don't have a landline. My parents don't either. Haven't for a while. How many still have landlines? And cable. Who still has cable? Have you cut the cord? I never got new cable for my house. Like, when I moved out into this place, I never got cable. Like, I don't watch TV really anyway. But I don't have cable. I've just got a smart TV. I just watch Netflix on my TV downstairs. Like, and I also got Hulu recently. I was watching 4 Weddings for a while. One night. I watched 4 Weddings in one night. TLC back in the day was so good. Like, back in, like, the, like, early 2010s, like 2010, 2011, 2009, those were the days of TLC. Like, back when they had, like, 4 Weddings airing, and, like, Say Yes to the Dress, What Not to Wear, like, that, those were the days, my friends, let me tell you. Oh, one more thing that's kind of weird about this game. So, columns work differently, so not to, like, change the subject, but columns are different in The Sims 3 and in The Sims 4. In The Sims 4, columns snap to corners automatically, so they'll snap to the corners of a tile. In The Sims 3, they place in the middle of a tile. And so sometimes they'll have, like, decorative columns in the middle of a tile in The Sims 3 builds, but we physically cannot place a column in the middle of a tile. You can't alt place columns. And so my columns have to be on corners, even though their columns are so nicely alt placed, or just snapping to the center of tiles. It looks really nice, but we can't do that. Wish we had a little bit more limitation with columns. I think the issue with columns that we have is that because they change in height as the wall height grows, it's hard to alt place them. It's similar to windows, how, like, you know, but not the same, because windows can be alt placed, at least not on the wall. But once you get the wall involved, it gets confusing, and columns have to keep changing height for wall heights, so, like, not as alt-placey, I guess. I don't know. But you might have seen just then on the wall in the bedroom, briefly, the mirror that I placed above the dresser. Yeah. Deeply upsetting, but it's okay. There are a few things that I had to do that really bothered me. One was those mirrors, like I said, and also the landscaping. In the Sims 3 version, they have some, like, terrain painted on flowers. Who is mowing their lawn? Are you serious? I'm busy. Anyway, they have, like, terrain painted flowers and also some real ones, but the terrain painted flowers that we have in this game, the grass bit underneath them doesn't match the grass texture of Brindleton Bay, and so they look really dumb. It would look better in Willow Creek, but it looks really dumb in Brindleton Bay because the grass doesn't match. It's like a very flat, bright green, and the texture in Brindleton Bay is, like, more, I'm gonna call it pointy. There's a more pointy grass texture in this game, which The Sims 3 doesn't relate to. So there's that. But as you can see, it's coming along pretty nicely. I think it ended up being very close to the actual build in The Sims 3. I mean, I put some finishing touches, like the car, which we can do now with the new Move Objects cheat. We've got the super weird chimney on top of the ceiling. But it all ended up being really, really nice. And I was kind of proud of myself, not to flex or anything. But it was a fun build to do, and I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it, because I do want to do more of these things, because it was really fun. If you have any suggestions for builds to do also, like, obviously I did the goth house already and the land grab house and stuff, but there are a few more, like, big mansions in The Sims 3 I haven't done yet. If you have any other options, it could be different worlds than the Sunset Ballet base game world, too. I've got all the packs, so I can do whatever I want, okay? But anyway, suggestions in the comments, also landline suggestions in the comments. Do you still have one? What are your thoughts on landlines? And actually, I only care if you pay for it. If your parents have one, do you personally have a landline? Let me know. Because I feel like people like my age that are moving out now aren't getting landlines as often. I mean, in some cases they are, but I'm curious. Also, do you have your own cable? I'm really interested in that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. So we've got some screenshots coming up here soon with the before and afters of the Sims 3 version and the Sims 4 version, because it's kind of fun to compare these things and like point out like individual differences in them. I did miss one single painting, I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't see one wall in the study, and I didn't put a painting there. But like, if I just don't screenshot it, you'll never know. So that's not my problem. But anyway, make sure to go ahead and leave a like and comment and subscribe and do all those fun YouTube things. And in case you guys didn't know, I post new videos every single day, and so I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. This house is on the gallery, by the way. My origin ID is lilsimsie. Please download it and please follow me. I'm very gallery famous and I want to get more gallery famous. That's all I care about is gallery fame. So follow me on the Sims 4 gallery. Thanks.